Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is me pulling cards again. It's Tuesday, first of all. My name is Kim, second of all. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm a bit tired. I don't know. I had a rough night, but it wasn't actually a rough night. I just didn't get a lot of sleep. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm here today and I'm ready to pull some cards for you guys and see what comes of them. And the topic is the month ahead. So the month of August, for the collective, see how things will look for us. I also want to, I think we got our answer there regarding that Glazane situation. I just saw something before I pressed record. But this week, it's Tuesday, like I said, and it feels the energy I feel the most is feels chaotic. It feels very much I think that's why outside of it, just feels like it's vibrating, the energy. And it's a nervous energy. It's like it doesn't feel anticipatory this week, but it just feels sort of like waiting for something. You know? Sort of like you know a train is arriving and you're waiting for it. But you don't know what time it's coming because it's delayed. And that feeling of like urgency, that's the word. A sense of urgency is what I feel. Okay? But also at the same time, like, okay, why? What? What's going on? I don't have no idea why. Okay. And it feels this way. Some of it is my energy. I recognize that. The energy sort of, it's like it's beneath, my energy is beneath the energy that's sort of pushing down. Not like smothering me or hurting me, but the energy I feel underneath is like, well, nothing's going on. My energy feels like, well, it's nothing in particular. You know? Going on for me. But on top of all of that, I feel in the air this harried, vibrating, chaotic, disruptive energy. Okay, so how have I been dealing with it? Yesterday, I did some renewing rather, with my energy. I was taking a shower. Did some cleansing, and I felt good. Probably gonna have to do it again. Because things sort of still feel, I don't like how this table looks. Let's see here. How are we doing here? Maybe I need to push this back. maybe that's better. So, that's what I encourage you all to do, to turn inward, to check in with yourselves, see how you're feeling, see where there are opportunities to heal if you feel like you need it, what kind of self-care exercises you're engaging in. And self-care is not just an internet thing, okay? It is a evidence-based practice. Is actually a real thing. So it's important to see what you are, to explore what you feel you are doing, or what more you feel like you need, for yourself. Whether you're dealing with something personal or just struggling with what's going on in the world, it's important to make sure you are incorporating what makes you feel well. And even myself, I'm trying to do that. Trying to do more of that. It's hard sometimes, but it's a everyday commitment. Okay. All right, so before we start, everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say here is for informational purposes only. Everything said here is alleged, even in the comments, okay? Guys, oh yeah. I don't know about why I'm about to tell you this, but in the comments, there was someone, for the first time in a long time, someone that was very trolly in the comments. And I was like, wow, that's cool. It's been a long time. So anyway, that's not important, but it was interesting to me. I blocked them, it wasn't a big deal. It was interesting what they were saying. But anyway, I know for some of you, the channel messages, I guess it was controversial. I don't know what I said, what the message was regarding where we would be a year from now, and me seeing JD Vance, who I never think about, even still, as president. And it's just like, it didn't upset me. The only reason I felt surprised, not because of that necessarily, because I've said that before a couple of times recently. I think in a live I said it, in a Q&A I said it, before I've said it in the channel messages. But the reason why it surprised me was because it became unprompted. Like, I usually only talk about him when someone else asks about him, because he is not important to me. And I don't mean like in a sense of a human being. I mean, excuse me. I mean in the sense of like, when we associate the position of the presidency, it is pretty important, but his energy, his destiny is really not. He'd want it, sure. It's a process, like I said, but it won't look like the way he imagined it to, and it won't be sustainable. So that's why it surprised me when I was like, wow, he just came up without me having to, someone having to prompt me. He just came up in the image. And yes, it was Kamala who I saw challenging him. Now, with this vision, I asked about the year 2026, and I saw him as president. and he was standing beside it looked like a debate, and she was standing beside him, and it felt like he was defending his position. And then I thought to myself, what if this is, but then I said, well, no, I said, what if this is 2028? But no, I'm like, this is 2026. I was particular about that date, so we'll see what happens. But it's all about shifts, and I find myself, I know I'm talking a lot. I'm going to start. It's 10 minutes, but I find myself shifting from Donald Trump will perish. These things sort of more clarity is what, so me seeing him as president really didn't, JD Vance didn't move me. It didn't make me like, and I know for some of you to hear that is disappointing. I get it. Totally get it. And it's also like perspective, and to see what will happen, how changed things will be. And I know most, if not all of you, understand that getting the essence of DT to dissipate is more important, because him and JD Vance are not on the same wavelength of when it comes to power or essence. So he's the worst. He's way worse, Donald Trump. So, and I'm not saying this is the better of two evils. That's not, I don't even like that phrase at all, that idea. What I'm saying is that I truly understand, I mean it when I say this man has an essence that affects everyone. Whether negative, it's all negative, honestly. But it does something to people's spirits. His presence, his essence, the very, JD Vance doesn't have that. He has the opposite of that. His presence controls everything, how people think, from their behaviors, on both parts, on both sides of the aisle, like both sides. How they function, it has to end. Everything else will fall into place once the essence has dissipated. I saw it happen 4 years ago. And it has to happen again this time for good. That's what's most important. And again, this isn't like Death Watch, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking like the essence of this cult of personality, the physicality of it, the mere spirit of him. There's no one like him around, even the most worst person. There's no one like him around. So his essence has to go in order for something to, kickstart and things to really move forward the way it's supposed to. And I think back to when I asked before he was inaugurated, I said, show me, I can't remember the question I asked. What will happen? Something to that effect with him. Or, it was a dark shroud. I saw it. It made me tear up. That's what, anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. But even if I share something, one thing I could never do in doing this is not be honest. Not to say anyone else does it, but it didn't feel, if it's something I wouldn't hide or not say something. And honestly, me sharing that didn't feel significant. It felt more significant that he was being challenged. Him being president didn't feel significant at all. So, that's just my message for some of you who, and I'm not trying to change how you feel. I get it. But I could never, if I receive a message that I feel like it's important for you to hear, which is most things, I'll share it with you, and it won't be, I don't sugarcoat things necessarily, not really, but I always try. The way my guides guide me is through perspective, and I'm not speaking as someone who's just like, oh, higher self connected 24/7. Because if I'm watching someone's channel and I hear something that could be upsetting, I might have the same emotional feelings inside. But when I'm recording and I'm in the zone, I'm above, I feel, so I could see perspective. That's why sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish y'all could see what's in my mind. Okay? Because the messages are always about perspective. It's never just like, sometimes it's like black and white, yes and no. Other times it's more nuanced. Most times it's grays, and one event that can occur can branch off into and affect other things that can occur, potential possibilities. And anyway, let's start. Oh yeah, if you want a personal reading, you can click more in the description of this video and the link will be there, or you can email me moonlightenergy15@gmail.com, one whole word and 2 numbers. What else was I gonna say? Something else. Hold on, let me think for a second. Oh yeah, click the notification bell and okay. Alright, I've been talking for 19 minutes. I apologize, but I just had some things on my mind and I remembered them for once. So let's get the month ahead. I'm going to pick that up because I literally was not even thinking anything. The month ahead, the month of August. Let's see what the overarching energy will be for the U.S. Collective. Judgment. Card that comes up often for us. Judgment, spiritual awakening, transition. Discernment. Taking responsibility for your actions. That sort of jazz. Let's see. Okay. To move. All right. The month of August, please show me. All the towers on the bottom there. The Fool, new beginnings. 6 of Wands, very nice. 2 of Pentacles. Got some nice good energy starting out. How many cards should I pull? Guide said oh, the Sun. My guide said you'll know when to stop. Very hot. My guide said you will know when to stop. Well, sometimes I don't know. Knight of Pentacles, as per usual. Slow moving energy. Okay. Page of Wands, very nice. 4 of Swords. Ace of Swords. Page of Pentacles. Now I did say that I felt like this month energetically, this month will be interesting. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 major cards. Judgment, the Fool, and the Sun, which is lovely. Nice major card combo there. It's interesting that here the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is on top and the Page of Wands is on the bottom. Page of Pentacles is slow moving energy. I describe myself as the Pentacles because I move slow, but it's a focused, practical, expanded energy. It's enduring. Okay, so no matter how hard something is or how long something takes, when you have a pentacle there, like the Knight of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles, it's like focus. You're focused. You keep going. No matter what. No matter how slow it is, no matter how long it takes. Okay, so then you have the Page of Wands at the bottom, which is one of my favorite cards. And Page of Wands is about determination. It's about taking risks. You throw your staff up into the air. It's about adventure. Even a little bit of impulsivity. So I think it's inspired action. And Page of Wands brings news. So with the Page of Pentacles on top and the Page of Wands on the bottom, then you have these 2 major cards here, which is the more prominent energy. the long-term sort of energy, Judgment, and the Fool. And the Fool is here paired with the Page of Wands. And they have the same, they're in the same field, really. The Fool and the Page of Wands. And Judgment and the Page of Pentacles is sort of in the same field. So it's like a balance between this focused, disciplined energy moving towards something, and this inspired action, determination, sort of, I don't want to use the word impulsive, but being practical and focused, okay, and disciplined and moving forward towards something, while also maybe being what's the word? Would the wands be flexible? Would they be would the energy of the wands be defined as being, as fixed? Wouldn't the pentacles be fixed? Maybe it's anyway. I'm thinking too deeply right now. I need to like break from that. Being a pentacle anyway. But let's focus on but there's a balance between these two energies that is helpful for us, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? Because you see this person, the page is holding this pentacle very tightly. They're focused, and this Page of Wands is throwing the staff up. So, a balance between focus, sort of practical energy, and more also taking risks, and maybe not to say pentacles are afraid, but taking risks and inspired, more directed action, which is, there's a wildness to the Page of Wands. So having both this energy at the same time is good for us because it's holding a balance here. And you have Judgment and the Fool here, which is sort of the same message. Okay, because the Judgment card is about transformation, spiritual transformation. It's about elevation, okay? It's about integrity, being discerning, being practical, okay? And how you choose to take responsibility. Or the Judgment card is really also a card to look inward and to say, okay, something's changing, or something's here now, or there's a transition happening here. What have you been doing lately? That will decide the way the transition goes. And you have the Fool here, which is about new beginnings. Okay, and so this is very interesting. So you have the Fool here, that's about new beginnings. It's about taking risks. It's about taking a leap of faith, no matter where you land. The Fool says, the road is paved clear for you to move forward. So that's the energy that we'll be in August. It's maybe the first 2 weeks, that's the feeling that we'll be carrying. But there's also a bit of wildness, it feels like. That's why the Fool and the Page of Wands is there. Okay, so as you move to here with the Six of Wands, the Four of Swords, Six of Wands, Four of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. I really feel like the collective will be in a space of evaluating how we have been approaching things, or reevaluating. That's what the Four of Swords is about. We'll also be tired, maybe feeling a little burnt at the edges as we move on, as we experience the energy, the collective energy, the external energies, all those things, events, everyday life stuff. We'll feel tired. Okay, so, but also this tiredness, or this like on edge or feeling burnt out, will bring on a sense of needing to reevaluate how we are approaching life. Okay, because we want the Ace of Pentacles. We're it feels like we're like I said, this sort of the subconscious feeling that we know something is coming towards us, so we know something is, we always just know. We all know, you know what I mean? Our bodies know, our minds know. We know when a storm is coming. We know when an earthquake, at least we know when an earthquake is coming for some reason. Our body knows, so because we are tuned. But the Ace of Pentacles is the Ace of Pentacles is new expansion, new beginnings, new opportunities for expansion and growth. Okay? I always call it the Kings of the Kingdom, the keys to the kingdom. And so as we are reevaluating how we are approaching things, we have the Six of Wands here, which is a card of victory. Okay, it's a card of recognizing your success. It's about leaning on others for support, surrounding yourself with the right people. Okay, and Two of Pentacles is here. It's about balance and prioritizing your responsibilities, how you're approaching things. This is so interesting, what I'm being shown. As we move through this, it's like a locking in here. It feels like we move from this and it fades into this. And as we move, the two of Pentacles, like I was saying. 1, 2, 3 Pentacles. Okay. Two of Pentacles, like I was saying, is balance, finding balance, prioritizing your responsibilities, your goals, the things, how you prioritize yourself, that sort of thing. This feels very much like, this feels external, this feels internal. And then we move here, and we have the Sun, Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. The Sun is here. We always want the Sun. So the Sun comes, and it's a major card, so that is the prominent energy. With the Sun comes abundance and clarity, enlightenment, seeing the truth of something, seeing the exposure of something, seeing the light with the Sun. Okay? That's what we are looking for. In all ways. Internally, externally. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, Sword of Truth. It's about truth. And the Sun is here also. Clarity, new opportunities for clarity, new ways of communicating. This feels like this month is about balance for us, because the Knight of Cups is here and the Knight of Pentacles is here. And again, Pentacles is a slow moving sort of energy. It's a focused, sometimes it could be, no, that's the Knight of Swords. It's a focused sort of energy towards your goals, towards things that you're working on. And the Knight of Cups is your creativity, your emotionality, a good balance to have here. With the Sun here, I need to see what events is bringing on these feelings for us, because energetically it doesn't, there's wildness here, but our response to it feels different. For the month, I'm not looking at weekly yet, but overall, there feels like a finding a balance somewhere. Okay, stronger. So let's look at what events could be, what events we could see. Politically, materially, spiritually, with society, you know what I mean? Let's look at that. Very interesting, because what I was just shown was really about internal stuff for us. That was nice. What events for the month of August will occur that will affect the collective, the US collective? This wants to come out. The Four Cups on the bottom, events. Two of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups, always comes out. Nine of Wands, something that will test our mettle, Queen of Cups. Very interesting. Five of Cups. Told me to put it here. On top. Nine of Cups. Very interesting. High Priestess in reverse. The Empress in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse. Ten of Cups upright. Keeps telling me to go. Go. Five of Pentacles. The Empress is up right here. The Chariot. Eight of Wands. Okay, interesting. Alright. One, two major cards. Two cards about grief and loss. And I just need some validation, guys. Okay. Alright, so the Five of Cups is in between the High Priestess in reverse and the Empress in reverse. And the Five of Pentacles is next to the Empress in reverse. 5 and 5. So my question is, what events will directly affect us? And it feels very interesting because these major cards are in reverse, which is the prominent. These are, I think these are the events. The High Priestess in reverse and the Empress in reverse. Okay, and because they're the major cards. And this is our effect here. Let me just double check. Okay. Are these row of cards in this position the internal effect of these events? I'm saying yes, yes, yes. Strong yes. Okay. Alright, let's start at the top here. So the High Priestess. Very interesting. Five of Cups and the High Priestess. The High Priestess in reverse. It could speak to confusion. It could speak to something occurring that could lead to a confusion. That can cause a disconnect. You know, it's about self-doubt. And it also could be secrets coming out when it's in reverse. trying to figure out what this is saying to me. Okay, so because the internal reaction here, it doesn't seem terrible. These reactions here, you know what I mean? And these two events causes a loss of something and a feeling of lack, you know. Let me see if I can get clarifiers. I don't think I need one. I just... Give me a clarifier. It could be losing clarity, but that doesn't make sense to me. Judgment. Judgment as a clarifier for the High Priestess in reverse. So I think it's something being released, secrets, mysteries. That could, you know, cause us some grief here with the Five of Cups, because Judgment is here. It's upright. And what did I say? Judgment is when the trumpet calls and it says, your time has come. Give me a clarifier. The Fool on the bottom. King of Swords upright as a clarifier for the Empress in reverse. Sorry if I'm taking long. I apologize. I also apologize for the pause. Okay, so I promise you I know how to read cards. But the depth of this feels so much right now. Whatever these events are, it feels important. Okay, and so I believe this is about things coming out that can cause a sense of loss or a sense of renewal. Okay, because that's what the Five of Cups, there's two cups behind the person full. Not all the cups are spilled. Okay, and so I think what this is saying is, whatever this event, the High Priestess in reverse is, you know, confusion, that can cause confusion, that can cause a lost in trust or a lost intuition, but mostly things coming out. And the Judgment card is here, so that tells me that things coming out, secrets, you know, scandal, news that could be upsetting. Okay, because the Five of Cups is here, but always it is The Five of Cups encourages healing, learning a lesson. Okay, and you have this other event here with the Empress in reverse, which is it is feeling lost, feeling blocked. Okay, feeling unbalanced, feeling like you're at a space. Whatever this event here is, brings on this. This feels like the same event. Let's see, let me ask. It feels like the same event. Is the High Priestess and the Empress the same event? Yes. Okay. Very interesting. Because I feel, like, something that's lost. And the Empress in reverse is feeling lost. You're like trying to find your way in life because something shook you up, or feeling burnt out, feeling like a loss of creativity. That's But the King of Swords is here, and then Five of Pentacles was next to the Empress in reverse. So it's a feeling of being left out in the cold. It's an isolating feeling. It's neglective. It's a neglectful feeling. It's feeling bankrupted spiritually. You have no friends. Nobody likes you. It's a feeling of lack, but it's not reality. So whatever this event is, could possibly bring those feelings on. But the King of Swords is here, so whatever the event is, we have to. Our response to it has to be not so much relied on the emotional part of it, of the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Is a truth we need to hear or see, whatever the event is. Okay, because down here, Two of Pentacles, reevaluating, rather reprioritizing or prioritizing things in our lives, responsibilities, goals, ourselves. Queen of Pentacles, this sort of enduring, stable, secure, practical, reliable, holding a balance between that. Page of Cups always comes out. Finding new creative ways to this is very emotional. First of all, 1, 2, 3, 4 cups, 5 cups. Whatever the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, resilience. You're almost there. It's right at the end. Regardless of this event that is affecting us, that we will witness or experience, it's like the Nine of Wands is saying, but you will survive. You'll endure. You'll continue to move forward. We'll continue to keep pushing, because we know we're there, right there at the end, because the Queen of Cups is here, and that speaks to emotional stability. That speaks to, which is interesting because the High Priestess is in reverse. That will lead to compassion and increased intuition and going with the flow of life. Same with the Page of Cups. And the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups, I mean, Nine of Cups is about, I mean, it's an indulgent card, but it's really about contentment and satisfaction. And the Ten of Cups is about harmony and peace and enjoying your environment and those around you, emotional stability. So honestly, it feels like ultimate effect of the event. Whatever the event will be, regarding news or secrets, you know, the effects, our response to it feels like, you know, we get knocked down, or it would appear that there's a feeling of loss or lack, but it feels like suddenly the emotions boomerang into something of like resilience and emotional stability and security and ultimate. Our ultimate effect is the Temperance card, which is like, yeah, we need that. Inner peace, balance, wisdom. Protection, safety. Whatever the event is, we'll be revealing. It seems like something that needs to happen. It's very vast. I don't know, this month feels important, this upcoming month. That's why it's like, it feels very serious, honestly. It feels very serious. I feel very serious. I feel like whatever the event is needs to happen. Let me just do this quickly. Does this need to happen? see the Eight of Swords is. Look, that card, Eight of Swords is probably the most annoying card to me. The Moon, the Three of Swords, the Hangman, the Seven of Cups in reverse, and the Five of Swords. Let me ask, I need clarity. What does it have to do with, or who, what or whom, this event for August? Has to do with our governments, I heard. Okay, show me. People behind it. Behind the biggest secret, I heard. People behind the biggest secret. That could be anything. It could be anything. Anything. Strength the Sun. There is a mental block. I can't, it's like there's something that I can't see, and that's very annoying. The biggest secret. But I'm not being shown or told. I'm just being shown emotions and reactions. And it's very annoying. Maybe I need to accept it. Move on. But I don't want to. I want to know. I'm just, what you hear me doing, I'm looking for a deck. I'm looking for a deck that, this might be over here. That's the soul contract deck. That is the biggest secret. I mean, I could pull out but I don't think that would help me. But it might. The answer, I feel like, is right in my face. And I may not be asking the right question. But I can't find I have to clean this up now, some else. Bear with me, guys. Just come with me on this journey. Come with me. Come with me, okay? We've been together long enough, I think. You could see the process. You have seen the process. This is me investigating. Because it feels very important, but I also feel like I can't see. And I don't know if it's because I am not allowed to see, or am I not allowed to see, or my intuition is missing. Well, in relation to our government, I'm just going to use these true crime cards. So it's about our government, and it's the biggest secret. The people behind it, and the biggest secret. That could be anything, I think. What time is it? Regret. Okay. Missing regrets. Water on the bottom. Affair. Okay. Beach. All right. Death. Involves an affair. Natural disaster. Okay, so okay. All right. Money. What else? Gift. Cleanup. It's starting to faked death. Interesting. Alive. Egotism. Okay. There's numerous things happening here. And it said it's the same event, okay? But I'm being shown other things too, it feels like, here. I did talk about, you have beach, that is... Beach, death, and natural disaster. What do you guys think that means? Perhaps a hurricane? But that's not the full... The biggest secret. Gift. Someone being given money for a cleanup. I don't know about the fake death. What that would be where my mind is going. Y'all let me know in the comments. Let's do an interactive thing again. Let's do an interactive thing. Missing, regret, affair, beach, death, natural disaster, gift, money, cleanup, fake death, alive, and egotism. This could be multiple things. Okay, so these are True Crime Oracle cards. I'm going to read this. The case closed. Bring unresolved issues to a conclusion. Ensure that all necessary actions have been taken and that no loose ends remain. Hold on. No loose ends remain. Closure allows for progress and new beginnings. So we got some closure coming up. Something with government money. It could be something about certain individuals, perhaps also in their personal lives. It could be about a response to a natural disaster that could happen in August. Okay? It could be secrets coming out, sort of all related in some way. But I'm not seeing it clearly. Like it's like it's a block in my head. Am I blocking, or am I just not allowed to see it? Okay. Opportunities for healing. For the collective for the month of August. Cups on the bottom. Nine of Swords, Page of Cups, Nine of Wands, and Two of Wands. Justice. Justice, closure, cases closing, secrets coming out, money being exchanged, drama. Nine of Swords is an opportunity for healing because it reminds you that the fears and the worries you have, while understandable, may not be what's actually going on. So Nine of Swords is a self-imposed mental limitation. It could be scandal, but it reminds you that you are not alone and that you are protected, and it encourages you to turn your mind away from the obsessive thoughts, obsessive worries and anxiety and the fear, to something that could be more helpful for you. Okay? So that's what we need. Page of Cups. With the page, when I see but this, I think I'm just projecting. Not in a bad way, but the Page of Cups, when things are terrible, it really reminds me, it's about emotional awareness and new opportunities. I'm trying to stay focused, okay? Increased intuition, heightened awareness, okay? So it's really sort of the opposite of it is the opposite of the Nine of Swords. So that's a good opportunity for us to have. I think of creative expression. At least that's how I move with the Page of Cups. Creative expression really helps me. It keeps me well. Okay, and the Nine of Wands is persistence, resilience. It reminds you that, one, it validates your experience, and it reminds you that you have to keep going. You're almost at the end of this burden, this, hard situation. Two of Wands is about implementing your plans, your goals. It's about having a clear direction with determination. It's about expansion. It's about growth. And Justice is here. Okay, justice is about balance, fairness, integrity, things sort of coming back to a sort of stable, balanced way of life. Okay? So those are our opportunities for healing. And I think I'm going to leave it there. All right, guys. So August seems very serious. It's very like intense this month. There's some wildness coming into the month of August, but really it feels like being in a courtroom. And everything is serious, and that's what it feels like. But I think, overall how we respond to this month will be serious, but it will also be, I think, it will be a really good opportunity for us to take this whole experience that has been terrible for the most part and really shift us into a different line of energy. Okay, this month, July, was preparing us for the next month in a way that is like, okay, time to buckle down now. It's serious. We went from June, suspended in the air, sort of just being whipped, to July, this wild, crazy, or was May where we suspended? I think it was May. But anyway. But July was crazy nonetheless. And now we're moving into something very serious. It's like, I don't know if I would use the word, I don't know if I'd use the word somber. But it's like a boxer getting up at the count of 8 and like getting a second one. That's what it feels like. Okay. So that's all I got. I hope this resonated with you. Please like this video if it did. I will see you guys. What's today? Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I will see you Thursday because I did not post up the question and I think I need a break. A nice break in between here. So I'll see you guys. I feel like something's going to happen tomorrow that will make me want to record. I feel like we'll see. But I'll post a question. Anyway, I'll see you guys. You'll see me again soon, okay? For the Q&A. You'll see the question soon. But in the meantime, like this video and goodbye. Bye.